I'm Primal Piggy. Thank you for joining me for another in our Identities and Roles in the BDSM Lifestyle series. Today is part 6, where we talk about some miscellaneous top and bottom roles. In our first part in this series, we went over the identities within a dynamic. Today, we're going to go over the roles that are kink or scene specific. Tops and bottoms are the participants in a scene where there are one or more kinks performed. You don't have to be in a dynamic with the person that you're in a scene with within BDSM. And sex at any level or in any type of way is not necessarily a requirement for a scene. Your role can change with different scenes, uh, with different partners, or even within the scene. While typically the D type or the more dominant person will oftentimes take a top role, and the S type or more submissive or slave will take on the bottom role, this doesn't have to be the case within scenes. The role in the scene has nothing to do with your position in your dynamic or your just overall identity as a person. If you choose to be in a dynamic, because not everyone is in relationships who plays within BDSM. Any more submissive person of a submissive identity can top their dominant with the dominant's consent, of course. Just an example of this is sometimes I will task my submissive to top me in certain kinks that I enjoy receiving or having done to me. If there's any power exchange during the scene that doesn't exist outside of the scene, it's temporary and it ends at the end of the play scene. This is where a lot of people get confused and consider themselves something like a switch. You're not a switch if you top uh, your dominant type during a certain kink or scenes. Also, you're not a switch if you submit or you bottom to your S type during the certain kinks or scenes. That is called being versatile. It is somebody who likes to both top and or bottom or has the potential to top and or bottom within a scene depending on what kinks are involved. So here are some kink slash scene top and bottom roles that just really haven't fit within other parts in this series. And a lot of these are the ones that get confused with BDSM identities because of places like FetLife and a very infamous BDSM test that blurs all of this together. These roles are kink specific, meaning that they belong within play scenes, and and they show whether you like to give, to receive, or you're versatile to do both. The first one is play partners. The definition of a play partner is the person that you're in a kinky play scene with. Usually it's ongoing and it doesn't require a dynamic or a vanilla relationship. It's just people that enjoy getting together and practicing or participating in kinks. If there is a power exchange in the scene, it's limited and it begins and ends with the kinky play scene itself. Top. A top is a person giving an action or doing an action or leading the kink within a scene. The top is usually capitalized and it's listed to the left of a slash. Bottom. The bottom is the person, the title we give to the person receiving uh, or having something done to them or being led during a kink within a scene. Bottom is lowercase, and it's listed often to the right side of the slash. Service top. A service top is a top in a scene that is not receiving any power exchange, but is topping to give a kink or pleasure to the bottom of the scene. For example, a submissive that tops their dom in a scene is a service top. They're doing it because they've been tasked to, or they're doing it in service to a person who is their dominant. A switch. This term doesn't really fit in the roles and kinks side of BDSM. We prefer using the term versatile. Some will teach that a switch means to be able to top or bottom on some kinks. You'll find this in some BDSM resources. You'll actually find it quite prevalent and it's very much a point of confusion. When discussing roles or kinks, you can mention if you like to give or receive, or you can be versatile. Calling this a switch because you're switching between top and bottom, we get that, but it's confusing because an actual switch is an identity, and it's someone that can dominate in one relationship and submit in another. And it doesn't have to be someone who's non monogamous. It can be in your current relationship, you're a dominant. But say that relationship ends and now you start a new relationship. And in this relationship, perhaps you're submissive in this relationship. That makes you technically a switch. You were dominant in one relationship when that ended, and you were submissive in another. Some people are non monogamous and they are a dominant consistently in one relationship. And in a totally different relationship, they are consistently submissive in that relationship. So if you're a sub that has a dom that wants you to top them during a scene, nope, you're not a switch. Doesn't mean that switches aren't valid. It just means in that scenario, you're just versatile. You're not a switch. You're a sub that can top, which just means you can give a kink during a scene. It's as simple as that. I'm Primal Piggy. Thank you for joining me for this BDSM United podcast where we talked about just um, some miscellaneous top and bottom roles. And hopefully it helped you and helped clear up some of that confusion that is common within our culture. It was a joy speaking with you today, and I'll talk with you again soon. Oh, by the way, I wanted to mention you can find all of our resources at www.bdsmunited.com. Almost forgot. All right, have a good day.